Hey everyone, it's Alex and welcome to this Marvel Snap guide. We're going to be discussing some of the best budget decks you can play in Marvel Snap. These decks have been built only using Series 3 cards, which allows you to upgrade them over time as you build out your collection and unlock some of the meta beauties that I know you're hoping to get out of those Spotlight caches. Until then though, these decks offer a great launching point to help you be competitive in the game. And what's great about this series in particular is that we're going to be talking about 7 individual decks, but not just that. After I discuss each deck, I'm going to show you a gameplay example of me piloting the deck against infinite players and of course in Gold Conquest and above. So this is actually pretty cool. We get to actually try these budget-based decks and we get to beat players with full collections in the Infinite Ladder. If I can do it, you can do it too. So I'm actually really excited to get started. With that being said, let's go. We got Ongoing Spectrum deck number 1 here. Now, Spectrum's making a huge comeback as a whole in the meta. One of the most recent cards, US Agent, recently got buffed and it's actually making its way into a lot of these ongoing base lists. Wong can even be included. And the reason why I'm starting with Ongoing Spectrum is not only is this deck particularly good statistically, but it gives you some options against bounce, like the ability to counterbalance with Cosmo, but most importantly, a lot of zooing and junking's happening, which is great for Punisher. But most importantly, it is such a versatile archetype, and surfers like this too, where realistically, you could make many changes to the way that this deck is designed with other ongoing cards to make it work for you. Let's say you unlock something like an Iron Lad. Well, you can put Iron Lad in here, which will copy the effect of an ongoing card and become an ongoing card itself, right? So there's a lot of different options with this particular deck. So honestly, I think that if you're looking for a beginner-friendly deck with high meta impact, right now, believe it or not, Ongoing Spectrum is in a pretty good spot. But most importantly, you can customize it to your enjoyment. Hope you enjoy this gameplay highlight. Oh my gosh, we got a Camartage game. Can you believe this? I can't believe we're getting a Camartage game here. This is just, it's free real estate. It's legitimately free real estate. Yeah, we'll go Mojo here. If anything, it just discourages them from playing there. I like playing Mojo and Lizard together. They offset each other a little bit, you know? You can also play the Omega Red with Mojo because it essentially prevents the... Oh my god, they know I got Spectrum now. That's a shame. That's a shame. Camartage is just absolutely beautiful. Now, I could do this. Pump their deck. But I think we're going to stick to the plan, chums. We're going to stick to the plan. We kind of have the cards we need here. I knew they were going to cable, which is fine. The challenging part is if they get Cosmo. That presents a problem, because if they get Cosmo from the cable, then they completely destroy us. What we can likely do is play Iron Man right, because now Omega Reds, because, I mean, as much as I want to play Goose right. So they got my Lizard, and they got, that's not my Jeff. It's not my Jeff. I like Lizard though. So that's 3 power. So we can do Goose Punisher. I think we're gonna do Goose Punisher here. As much as I like Iron Man, I just want to see what that other card that they grabbed was. Camartage is just awesome, right? A deck like this can also consider running something along the lines of Wong, by the way. Snow Guard. So they can obviously put Spectrum there. Here's the situation we're in, folks. There's a chance that they have our Cosmo. But we have initiative, so it doesn't really matter, right? We have a couple options, right? We can do something like Captain America into the cable, which is interesting because Spectrum's going to give +4 power here, right? But to each one. So Spectrum's going to go, we're going to go to... I don't think they ever trade mid, right? They never trade mid. This is +2 ongoing power, so it's like a cheaper Spectrum, except we're adding the additional 2 power. We add additional 3 here. This is probably safer. This is probably safer. Even though we have initiative, I think this is probably a safe play. It also drops the Lizard by 4. Sage, I respect that. It's a good play. I like that Sage play. Sage is a great card. But we're not playing great cards. We're playing budget-friendly cards. And Sage is a brand new Series 5 card. Miss me with that. That's a dub. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Now, this deck here, Shuri Sauron, is an absolute classic. This is probably one of the most powerful decks that you can play in the game, with one of the lowest costs in the game as well. Everything is Series 3 and below. I mean, that's pretty much the theme of the video. But what's notable here is this deck puts up serious power. It used to be the absolute best deck in Marvel Snap, and since it's kind of fallen off, like, just in popularity, it still puts up kind of high cube rates and high win rates. People are just kind of sleeping on it. It's the thing we've played for years prior, so just no one wants to play it anymore, right? So if you're looking for a very budget-friendly deck that absolutely slaps, Shuri Sauron is one of them. I mean, listen, Sauron has consistently been one of the highest win rate and highest cube rate cards in Marvel Snap, which is crazy. Very consistently been remarkably good. So if you're looking for a very budget-friendly deck, this is the one. I think what we're going to do is we're going to armor Ebony Maw here. It's fine, we don't need to play there. Could also move there with vision. Well, no, not really, actually. We could play Shuri there and just get it out of the way. Weird. They'll have to top deck Shang-Chi. He's about to give me my cards back, by the way. Oh my god. He gave me Taskmaster back. I think the most obvious play is the correct one. This Shuri might be bait. What we're likely to do is move vision here. Play the Taskmaster for 16, but that's like easily surpassable. This might be bait. It's unfortunate because we have to move the vision. Hey, you know what? I'm saying this is bait. Called it. All right. But I do get Echo into the Ebony Maw. They're gonna love this. They're absolutely gonna love this here. They're going to be so disappointed when they see this. So unbelievably disappointed. They're snapping back. They're confident. They're very confident. When they see this Echo take out Ebony Maw, they're going to be so upset. But it's okay. Are they C2 gaming, by the way? They must be C2. Some classic Cerebro too. Oh man, they got my She-Hulk. I got their Valkyrie. Never mind. This is not C2. I don't know what the hell this is. I'm not sure what's going on. And Negasonic. That's not an issue for me. We just Shuri on the Negasonic. Not a big deal. Got to be very wary of that Valkyrie, though. So we're going to have to play Vision. But we're going to have initiative on turn 5. So we got to be very careful here. Hopefully they take initiative from us by playing into a location and taking it over, because that'll protect our vision. Conversely, we can skip She-Hulk. All right, so we should earn initiative here because this will drop us down. So now we're actually kind of safe. However, I'm going to say that our best bet here is to skip She-Hulk. The effect is still there. We have to skip. We have to skip. Hope we get the Taskmaster. We get the Taskmaster. Oh my god. What an absolute thing of beauty, guys. What an absolute thing of beauty. I was expecting them to play their Valkyrie. Maybe they have initiative, so they can't really do anything. They're gone because of that, right? So the fact that we were able to kind of skip that turn gave us exactly what we needed to get that win. Ultron used to be a bit of a meme, but now after its buff where its drones went from 1 power to 2 power, Ultron is pretty damn legit. Now this deck is pretty neat because it has a lot of different options, and I love the addition of Super Scroll. Super Scroll allows you to punish players with full collections that might be trying to pull off these crazy Living Tribunal type combos on you, and what you do is you steal it all for yourself with your Super Scroll. It's a nice tech piece to a budget-friendly deck because it gives you an answer to a lot of other decks out in the meta. Most importantly, however, just straight up playing on curve. If you play Invisible Woman on 2, Patriot on 3, and then you Super Scroll on 4, and then on 5 you Blue Marvel, and on 6 you Ultron, that's a lot of power. There's bots everywhere, right? Conversely, you know, you can drop your Ant-Man, your Dazzler. Once people see Dazzler, they start to get tipped off you're playing as some Ultron. But I love using Wave to get out Onslaught early. Don't wave and get your Ultron out early. That's generally a bad idea. But I mean, it could work in some circumstances. But generally, you wave, you get your Onslaught out earlier, your Blue Marvel out earlier, whatever, and you set up your board state for taking advantage of that massive Ultron dump. At the end of the day, guys, Patriot is back. Ultron is a huge part of it, and that's not even the last Patriot deck we're going to be talking about today. But right now, in this gameplay highlight, you're going to see just how good it really is. This is a literal Subterranea game where we've snapped because we have Ultron, Patriot, and Wasp and Blarvel in our hand. We can just draw rocks and play the rocks, and we're probably okay. This is legitimately exciting. Legitimately exciting. Hey, they're snapping back. Look at this. Going for it. We're going for it. Oh, look at that nebula. Oh my god. It's just like my nebula. It's a god split. They've achieved the god split of nebula. I respect it so much. Now we're going to give that nebula +2, which is okay. Okay, they've drawn 2 rocks already. But oh, in a limbo game. We have some limbo gameplay here today. Not what I expected at all. Man, do I actually play Patriot here? I don't want them to know I'm playing Patriot. But I don't want to necessarily give them another pump here. Yeah, I'll play Patriot here. I don't love it, but I'll do it. We can't let this Nebula just run up casually. And this is why I love Nebula. I think that it's one of the best cards. I'm glad it's dropping to Series 4. It gives this like soft control feel. Kind of interesting that they're playing rocks into the New York, by the way, which takes away their agency of how they're going to play the next turns, but I digress. Okay, armor. Another Kirby Crackled armor. Our friend here has some great variants. I think we give them the +2, we play this down. The problem is we have the Ultron, right? We have Ultron. We don't need to play Brood here. Blarvel, Onslaught, Ultron. I don't think we play. I'm going to skip this turn. Yeah, Nebula is still tier 5, Series 5, I should say, but Nebula is dropping down. Oh my god, an Enchantress. Disaster for the boys. Disaster for the boys. It's okay. That Enchantress was exactly what they needed to do us some damage here. Especially with all these rocks. I can't believe it. I can't believe we just got Enchantress. You're not actually seeing a lot of Enchantress at all in the meta. Right? I haven't seen Enchantress in months. And sure enough, I play a Patriot deck and Enchantress drops on curve. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You just don't expect it. We got Ultron here. Super Scroll, big sad, not what we want. Never what we want. I think we actually move this here. Might have to do this. Next turn will be 7 power. 6-0. I actually play the Invisible Woman. Because I can sneak a rock out alongside the Wasp. Did I actually just get Cosmo? Wow, okay. So the Enchantress plus the Brood. This is some literally immaculate gameplay here. Like literally immaculate gameplay. Like I can't do anything. That's crazy. All right, we'll just do this. Still winnable, to be honest with you. Ultron's kind of our secondary plan here. Now Nebula got too big, way too big. So they actually do lose here, which is crazy. Despite getting hit with 2 direct counterplays, we do ultimately almost casserole to win 2. That's crazy. Wow. One of my absolute favorite decks in Marvel Snap is Silver Surfer, and the thing that really makes me love this deck is that it has limitless options at the 3-cost slot. Generally speaking, when you build out a Silver Surfer deck, you're starting with Sarah, you're putting in Nova and Killmonger, and then you're doing Forge, and then another 2-drop. Could be Jeff, if you want to lock Jeff eventually, but for now, Goose is great because it allows you to very favorably trade and prevent your opponent from, well, playing in a location with anything above 4 cost. So what's cool about this is that, like, you Forge into Brood, and that's great. You could also play Forge, Brood, Absorbing Man if you so wish. That's a bit of a different deck we'll talk about afterwards, but this particular flavor of Silver Surfer has the Storm Juggernaut combination, which is an absolute awesome classic combo that is kind of being slept on right now. Rogue as a tech card gives you a lot of optionality to kind of counter some of the ongoing meta that we're seeing in the current moment, and probably ongoing as well. And I mean, the Spider-Man's a flex piece. You can put anything you want there. You hate locations, put Rhino for all I care. It doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want there. You unlock Gladiator, add Gladiator there, right? There's so many options at the 3-cost slot. Spider-Man tends to kind of reposition cards like Invisible Women and stuff like that. They get to move them, then it messes up their plays. That's why it can kind of be beneficial at times. Polaris can be very tech-centric as well. But ultimately, Silver Surfer is a very legit deck. From a meta standpoint, is this the best possible version of Silver Surfer? No, it's not. But you know what's great about it is as you build your collection, you're able to add those pieces in there that make a difference. Sebastian Shaw, Gladiator. Then once you have them, maybe you start putting Nakia in with Okoye, and all of a sudden you got yourself a whole different deck. Keep an eye out for Hope Summers as well, because Hope Summers is a truly remarkable card in these archetypes. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you right now. So an example is like, okay, let's say you want to upgrade your Surfer deck. Here is a more meta-centric deck, right? And even then, this is actually not all that popular right now. But Red Guardian, Sebastian Shaw, Hope Summers, right? These are all new cards that are being added to the archetype in order to kind of improve its viability. But honestly, at the end of the day, right, that's not even the last Surfer deck we're going to talk about. But this is a very strong budget-oriented deck that'll help you win games. There's a lot of Nebula gameplay out here. Now, ironically, we can kind of let Nebula run up thanks to our ability to play Skillmonger. Now, I'm going to just let the Nebula run up here. But the challenge is going to be the fact that I bet you I don't even see a... Okay, hold on. Card text disabled. They're snapping on me? I'm going to snap back. We have Storm. We got Storm. We're going for this, I think. I think we always top deck Skillmonger. We wipe out this Nebula. It's Jean Grey. It's fine. So Jean Grey gets negated here. Because once you can't play there, it's just done. And we top deck Skillmonger like I wanted. These cards are really bad because Spider-Man's a card that you'd want to probably play there. However, we do pull Jean Grey out. It's very unlikely that they have anything bigger. If it pulls... I pull Jean. We'll see. As a 5-power card. They storm it again? No way. Double Storm gameplay? The challenge is now I can't Sarah. That's crazy. I can, Sarah. I'm drunk. I moved the Jean Grey. I was expecting to play there. I can, Sarah. They War Machine. Oh my God, they War Machine. What are the chances? What an absolute psycho gamer. So they can play there. They actually can. So they're going to be able to play there. We're going to want to play Killmonger here. This trades there. We're going to play Polaris here. And we are going to play our Silver Surfer here. Hope for the best. I like the Pixel Gene. This is a very risky play. Oh, they're going at me. Let's send it. Legion into all flooded? Oh. What? That's not good. They gave me the Colleen Wing, and then we took him for 8 cubes there. And it was the Killmonger. It's a Silver Surfer deck, and I guess they weren't expecting the Killmonger, and they're out of here, but good games. As I said before, we weren't even done talking about Silver Surfer, and here we got a Patriot Surfer deck, which honestly is surprisingly good. Now, the thing I really like about this deck, especially if you're relatively new to Marvel Snap, lower collection level, is it teaches you the fundamental mechanics of Forge into Brood into Absorbing Man, which is a remarkable combination for Silver Surfer, puts up a remarkable amount of power, especially when you consider that things like the Nova Killmonger is going to buff each individual replicated Brood or Absorbing Man. I like the addition of Iron Lad here, because if you hit Iron Lad with the Mr. Sinister, you get the 6 power. Conversely, if you hit the Absorbing Man, you get 3 Iron Lads kind of replicated in the Absorbing Man fashion. If Iron Lad hits Iron Man, then you're basically 12 power, because you're getting the 6 power, the effect of Iron Man, and it doubles, right? So a ton of power in this deck. But if you're playing the other one, you're going to really enjoy this one, because it really takes the Silver Surfer gameplay to the next level. Okay, there's their Morbius. Morbius M. Morbius. Morbius M. Morbius. Of Morbius fame. Here we are, classically off tempo. Do we ever get Brood? It sucks. It sucks doing this when I have a Brood. Like, Washington DC craves Brood, but it's not in hand. We got the Forge now. We just got to do it. Wow, there's some classic gameplay here, guys. Classic Morbius Mystique gameplay. You don't see this very often. We go Iron Lad mid. They never have MODOK or Wong. They never have anything. Oh, Iron Man. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care if you have Wong. I don't want to play Conquest anymore. I don't care if you have Wong. I just want out of this. I want out of this mode. I want to get my premium mystery variant. That's all I want. Oh my god, I just get rope snapped? I am Iron Man. So it's gonna be Gambit, right? It's fine. Overcommittal here. Play this here. Let's do this. Yeah. That Polaris doing work here for us. It's giving us a chance. Now that Iron Lad doing work as well. It's a pretty good line. Oh, we win. Polaris wins that game. Straight up. Crazy. Fast forward to victory. I am Iron Man. You gotta love the tech. You gotta love the tech. Iron Man. Oh, we're still going. Okay. I was just ready to celebrate the victory, but this game was just like, nah. Okay. Do we win now? What's happening? I am Iron Man. Oh, no, not yet. We're still... This is Dracula gameplay, okay. That's a solid win, folks. That's a solid win. Let's be honest, Cerebro has been a meme for the longest time, and it still kind of is, but Cerebro 2 is actually pretty legitimate now with the buff to Captain America, which allows Captain America to buff ongoing cards by 2 power in its location. This is significant because it'll buff Cerebro, it'll buff Mystique, it'll buff Iron Man, and they'll get 2 additional power, which makes them part of Cerebro 2, which they buff themselves. It's crazy how much power they can output. Now, with Cerebro 2, there's a lot of different options. I do think Shadow King is absolutely mandatory, as are Iceman and Nightcrawler. Goose is tricky. Goose is traditionally a very good card in Cerebro 2 because it allows you to favorably trade with the Cerebro buff without having to worry about like Red Hulks getting dropped on top of you. The only challenge with Goose specifically is that Goose and Blue Marvel are ongoing cards, which means that they can get buffed by Captain America, which would break the Cerebro because they're already 2 power. They would go to 4 and ruin everything. It's very important that you understand that you cannot play Captain America with Blue Marvel or Goose. You can only play Captain America with Iron Man, Cerebro, and Mystique. If this is driving you nuts and you're messing up all the time, take out Goose, add something else, okay? There are tons of options in the 2 power slot. Even something like an Echo is really good right now if you unlock it in Series 4. So I don't want you to get frustrated if you play Captain America like incorrectly, because it is a brand new buff and it'll take some practice to play Cerebro too. It's also very important that you consider that something like a Storm can be changed with magic. Storm I like in most situations because I like kind of like blocking them out of a location and then controlling them on the other side with a Goose. That's the way I like to do it. However, if you cut Goose, you can actually put magic in for Storm. It's definitely an option. Anything at 2 power is an option, essentially, right? Even M'Baku, if you really want to cook. So anyways, check out this gameplay highlight from Cerebro 2. We snap into Nightcrawler Storm here. Listen, I love M'Baku. I love M'Baku. But I don't know if M'Baku can realistically make this deck. I don't think M'Baku can realistically make any deck. Well, that's just natural stuff right there. This is perfect. So I wanted to originally storm the Machine World, but now we have to storm Coccia. M'Baku's the real one, man. Listen, I love M'Baku like everyone else does. Oh, they actually played there? Oh, it's just Kitty Pryde. I'm not concerned with this Kitty... Oh. Oh. Cringe. Cringe. We can still Cerebro. We still... I think we Iron Man turn 5. I think we do this. We've already snapped. Iron Man into Cap America Cerebro. Okay. Bishop Elsa Bloodstone. I respect it.
Wind, aid my hand.
There's a lot of M'Baku coping in the chat right now. If you guys really believe in M'Baku, then I'll consider. I think they're going to go hard in this location. I think Iron Man is going to be deceptively strong with Cerebro Captain America. And this is kind of the main part of the deck. Now, if we get Mystique, we have a choice to make. They're going 4s. One of them is going to be... Okay, are they giving the lane? We can also Shadow King the Bishop. All right, they're giving the location. Okay. We have initiative. We have options. 6 power is negated with this. But I don't think that's good enough. I think use Cerebro, which buffs everything across the board. Captain America brings these up to 2, buffs them as well. We also get White Widow. They're going to White Widow here, I'm sure. Because it's going to be an ongoing card. It's going to be 0, and it's going to get buffed. Let's see if they play White Widow left or right. White Widow gets punished extremely hard, right? Yep. Wow. We're gonna smash him there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. White Widow comes down, buffs us even harder. And that's an 11 power bishop too, and we just cleanly win that location. And this is where that Captain America is so powerful, right? That new Captain America is so good with Iron Man Cerebro together because they basically buff each other. All right, so this last one here is a bit of a cheat because it features High Evolutionary, which is a Series 5 card, but it's the only Series 5 card in this deck because High Evolutionary is literally archetype defining. It creates its whole new way of playing Marvel Snap. And so if you're going to spend tokens or if you happen to unlock High Evolutionary, it is definitely worth it because it is a card that really gives you an opportunity to play a whole unique kind of play style. It comes in and out of the meta. It's had times where it's completely dominant. Right now, it's kind of a little dormant, to be honest with you, but it's still good. And what I'll show you here is a gameplay highlight where I'm piloting it to a high degree of success in Gold Conquest. But most importantly, as you can see, these are all extremely inexpensive cards. So if you're brand new to Marvel Snap and you like unlock High Evolutionary with some tokens or you get it from a Spotlight cache or something, you're laughing because it's very likely you have almost all these cards and some of them are even starter cards for the most part, right? So I think this is a very good beginner-friendly approach to playing Marvel Snap. The deck is surprisingly good. It does have some counters like Luke Cage and etc., but I mean, you're just going to lose those games anyway if you happen to match into them. So regardless, I do think that High Evo is in a great spot, and so I hope you enjoy this gameplay highlight. All right. We're going to snap here. We're going to magic that right away. Deputy, I know. I would love to have a better variant, I think. I have some good... I got the Baby Valkyrie, which I really like. I've always liked the Baby Valkyrie. I think it's great. Are they going to storm my magic location or what? Are they finally going to get me back? I think they're going to try and get cute here. Maybe not. I think they're going to play like a Green Gob over here, maybe. I think I still have to play this location out, though. We're never moving anything. If they play a Goblin, we just move it right. Yeah, Storm turn 6 is definitely a factor. Do you think they storm us? Play Hulk on New York? I think... No, I'll do this. I'm going to float. Boom. We are playing 28 power mid. Man-Thing's good. Man-Thing's good there. That's not enough. That's not enough to win. Higher, further, nowhere. Solid win there, guys. Solid win.